Class of 2022, this is Ms. Magana delivering your counseling presentation to give you any updates needed throughout this year. All right, let's go ahead and begin. So just to recap, this is the admin team. We have our two associate principals, Ms. Schneider and Mr. Trung, and then we have Mr. Hernandez, our principal. And then this is our safety team. We have our two advisors, Mr. Georgie and Mr. Lara. And then we have our campus monitor, Mr. Romero, who you probably are not seeing much of right now, but you will once we are back in person. And then Miss Amy, our school social worker. All right, and then our counseling office support, we have Miss Guerra. She is the person that you see when you walk into the counseling office. She's very knowledgeable on different things going on campus, so she's always a good person to go to so that you can kind of know where you need to go. And then Miss Nicole, our registrar, she is in charge of your files and also your transcript. So if you need to order a transcript, she's usually who you would go to. Right now, since we are in distance learning, you would need to go to parchment.com for a transcript. And then this is me, your 11th grade counselor. If you need to reach me, the best way to do is just to email me. So I included my email right there. You can go ahead and take a picture of it or just write it down so that you can have it just for reference. All right, these are the different things that I can help you with as a counselor. Creating an academic plan. We already started that last year in the spring when scheduling. I did your 4-year plan, and then we will be updating that this year. And then I can connect you with different resources that we have on campus. And then I can provide you tips if you need help for a class, especially right now since we are in distance learning, things are pretty tough. And then pretty soon, if we haven't already, I will be doing a one-on-one meeting with you where we review credits and progress for graduation. All right, and then just to point you to the Andrew Hill website, it's a very important place right now because it has so much information. Because of distance learning, this is going to be a really good hub for different information that we have. All of the school events are posted here. Here it is. Your distance learning schedule, in case you forget it, is here. The calendar is here. And the main things I wanted to point you to is the activities. The club list is here. And anything that has a hyperlink is a club that is still meeting during distance learning. Let me see. Let's pick one. So if you are interested in MESA, you could always click it and then it'll take you to this PDF with all the information needed. So it tells you how to join, the meeting days with their little information. So this one, it looks like they're meeting on Zoom. And then a little bit more about each club. So that's pretty neat. And then sports, any information, if you're wondering about sports, you can get all of that information right here. All right, and now just going back to the presentation. Grades, this should be pretty straightforward, but just a little recap. So if you get a D, you do earn high school credit, but you don't qualify for universities depending on the class. So C's are going to be it's not what you should strive for, but that should be the bare minimum that you're aiming for, because C's really ensure that not only you're getting your high school credit, but you're also going to be accepted to universities. And then quickly going through the graduation requirements. So it is 4 years of English, 3 years of social science, 2 years of math, 2 years of science, and for science, it does need to be one physical science and one life science. 1 year of either a fine art or foreign language, 2 years of PE, and then 80 extra credits, which is a total of 220 credits. Just to keep in mind, electives are anything above and beyond the requirements above. For example, if you are in your third year of math, that third year, since it's above and beyond the 2 years required, that third year is technically elective credits. So that's kind of how you treat electives. It's not, it is its own category, but at the same time, it's just anything above and beyond. So I know a lot of times students get confused when they see their grad inventory and they only see maybe 10 elective credits. And that is because the other ones are embedded within the other subjects. And then if you are behind credits right now, we have Cyber High as an option depending on the class. And then summer school will be an option for next summer. And if you are pretty low on credits where Cyber High or summer school won't really help you, then I would recommend an alternative education school. And that is something that I will definitely talk to you about. So don't worry about kind of worrying. Just know that I will be having these conversations and I have already begun these conversations. So alternative ed would be if you're really deficient and just need a place that offers credit recovery. And then the CHESP, the California High School Proficiency Exam as well. All right, so A through G requirements. These are the courses that are needed to be eligible for admission to UCs and CSUs. And what are these requirements? So for history, 2 years are required. For English, 4 years. For math, 3 years, but they recommend 4. For science, 2 years, but 3 are recommended. For foreign language, 2 years, but 3 recommended. 1 year of a visual art, and then 1 year of a college prep elective. One thing to note is anytime it says recommended, you should do the recommended amount because doing the bare minimum is not going to be, it's not going to make you competitive enough for certain universities. And then you must pass every class with a C- or higher. All right, just some information about the SAT and the ACT. So the main difference is the format of the test, and then the ACT has a science portion. We always recommend that students take a sample of each because you never know which test is going to be your strong suit. So you want to make sure you do a little sample and then you can decide which one you feel a little bit stronger in and then sign up to take that exam. Colleges do not they do not preference one test over the other. They recognize them each the same. So it doesn't matter which one you pick. Just know that there's no preference. And then we recommend that you take the test at least twice. So now that you're a junior, we recommend once in your junior year in the spring semester, and then taking it again either in the summer or fall. And then one note is that UCs are no longer requiring the SAT or ACT, but CSUs are. And then for private universities, it varies. Okay, so I did mention about the UCs, so they are no longer requiring the SAT or the ACT, but that does mean that your personal insight questions and your extracurricular activities are going to be extremely important. You also want to focus on improving your GPA because your 10th and 11th grade grades are the ones that will be calculated into your GPA on your applications. All right, and then just a little more context about extracurriculars. I know that due to COVID, a lot of things are different. And UCs, CSUs, well, mainly UCs and private, since you do have to include those in the application. They know that every student is going through distance learning through COVID, things are shut down, things are not the same. So you're going to want to make sure that you are doing, some of those clubs that I showed you on the club list. You want to sign up for virtual courses, do virtual service, do different things that'll set you apart and show universities that you were not just sitting around during COVID, but you were actually doing things to benefit you. So that's going to be very important during this time. And then lastly, tutoring. In the past, we had tutoring in the library on campus, but obviously due to distance learning, that's not a possibility. But you do have tutorial office hours built into your schedule, and this is not being utilized enough. So I want to make sure that you know this is a time that you can go talk to your teachers if you're struggling in a class. If you need help, anything like that, this would be the time and the place for that. So make sure that you are utilizing your tutoring, because a lot of times that is going to make the difference between getting a higher grade or a lower grade. And that concludes our presentation. I will be reaching out to you if I haven't already done so to schedule a one-on-one meeting. So please look out for an email or a School Loop message from me with details on how to schedule that one-on-one meeting. Thank you, juniors.